Good morning, everyone. This is Bruce Lim, and it's a good morning in the MCO. And today I am with Mr. Kent Lee, who is the CEO and founder of Smart City, as well as the co-founder of JDxPresto Concept Store in Malaysia. Welcome, Mr. Kent Lee.
Hello, everyone.
All right, Kent, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what does Smart City do and what's JDxPresto Concept Store up to right now?
Sure. I'm the founder of Smart City, which we started off our business on 2016, focusing on IoT technology. We venture into IoT retailing, which is JDxPresto Concept Store last year, where we actually bring in our partner technology from China, JD.com. So they have this unmanned technology, which we think it will actually change the way we live in the future. It's unmanned. It's now we call it untouchable during MCO. Right. So we bring the technology and we look for our local partner as a platform to help us to localize, including using local e-wallets, local payment methods to spend on our machines. So which is why we choose Presto to be our partner, and we found this joint venture JDxPresto Concept Store.
Yeah. So your concept store that's occupying over 50,000 square feet at Quill City Mall, right?
Yeah, our concept store is about 53,000 square feet, and at the level 3 of Quill City Mall. It's one of the largest of its kind in Malaysia. It's probably the largest in Southeast Asia as well. What we do over there is a pure, totally cashless concept store where you have to leverage on Presto apps to shop. You have to spend your money via Presto apps. And inside, we actually accept all types of e-wallet, including Presto Pay, including Grab Pay, Touch and Go Pay, and other loyalty systems as well. So if you have loyalty points like bonus link, moving on, you can use a bonus link to spend as well.
Right. So impressive. So let me get this right. You have ventured into both offline as well as online.
Yes. It's actually a combination of online and offline business, where we sell our goods in the concept store, we sell it through online. You can get the same thing online. You can get the same thing in the Presto Mall e-commerce. At the same time, you can also come to our offline store, and there will be a QR display on every items. All you need to do is just use the app to scan, and the item will be displayed on the apps, just like how you shop in e-commerce. And then when you do add to cart, you can pay immediately, and then you can collect from our store instantly if there is a stock available, or you can get it packed and delivered home. Yeah.
Okay, right now with the COVID-19 pandemic and the MCO, how has that affected business?
Okay, if you go for traditional retailing, if you don't do e-commerce like how we do O2O, you might be impacted that your business might be suspended because your retail has to be forced to close down, suspended for a while. But what we do is that our business continue as usual, because I would say most of our customers are well aware that our products actually can be bought online, and it'll be exactly what you see, what you get in our store. So during this period of time, we have seen a burst of traffic into our online store. Actually, it's almost like I would say 300% burst of compared to what we have when we first launched. So right now, average. Most of our sales, I would say about more than 100K sales coming from online for every month. I mean, this is of course this is the first month that we have seen the spikes on the online sales. Yeah.
Right. So you're referring just to the online sales component. You're seeing a 300% sales. That's very impressive compared to as when it was Presto Mall launched.
Yeah, exactly.
When was Presto Mall launched?
We launched it on Double 12 last year. So when we launched it,
that's in December.
In December 2019. So when we first launched, we have seen quite a huge crowd in the offline, and we have gained some traction on our offline as well. But right now, most of the transactions are done online. Yeah.
Right. So the MCO help you boost, or is this organic?
I think it's very much boosted by MCO. Yeah, I would say that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're one of those that benefited from the MCO through your
yes, we are. Yeah, yes. We have to be honest.
Right. And what about your concept store in Quill City Mall? Is it still open? I don't think.
Yeah. We, I mean, in terms of retailing, we actually closed down the retailing part, but the operation part, the warehousing part is still running. We still do day-to-day delivery. We still do same-day delivery, and if you need to pick up drive-through via Q City Mall, we can still pass it through to the lobby to by hand to you, you know. And our personnel are now, of course, is covered up with protection, you know, to ensure there's no virus transmission. Yeah.
Right. So I think overall business has looked positive, you know, in the light of COVID-19 and the MCO. But what are the challenges that you are facing right now with this surge in demand and sales for your products?
I think the biggest challenge.
Your horror stories of late deliveries, perhaps you can't handle the surge in orders.
When this first imposed, the control imposed, it was pretty much quite smooth until the recent extension, where, you know, once the extension announced, Korean company now facing difficulty to get personnel, and they actually restricted their operating hours. As you can see, most of Korean company now work until 2 p.m. They don't work after 2 p.m. So that means there's only limited courier that you can actually courier out every day. So we can foresee there's a slight delay on the delivery to home, and we also have foreseen people start onboarding into e-commerce, and they might make some minor mistakes like putting the wrong address where we didn't see anyone in the house. You know, things like that are happening every day. Yeah.
Right. So logistics, there are some hiccups over there, or probably delay, and then you have got some administrative and technical hiccups. What about getting supplies? Because most of your supplies come from overseas. Do you see any disruption to that?
Supplies from overseas are overwhelming, and the only problem now is the queue to get it cross the queuing up for flight. Yeah, so everyone ordered, you know, especially what you call that, medical devices and medical related products like face masks, like you know, PPE. Those items are now mostly stuck in the airport because there's only very limited flights available for Korea, and very limited flights available from China to Malaysia at the moment. So everyone who ever order things, it's not a problem with custom clearance, not problem with anything. It's mainly because there are too many. So you have to queue. Yeah.
Okay, so what have you done to alleviate these problems?
We have actually partnered with JDxPresto to leverage on their network of cross-border logistics. What they help us to do is that they help us to aggregate the industry players, to aggregate whatever resources we have, to help us to speed up, to expedite the whole process. And the best part about JDxPresto is that they are so experienced in handling medical delivery. They have no issues in custom clearance. It's super fast. The only things now is because of very limited resources, we have to book in advance. We have to, you know, we have to really educate the customers about this, you know. Yeah.
Right. So these are, I think, short-term problems. So what are your plans moving forward after the MCO in the medium term over the next couple of months?
What we're seeing now is that we have seen how we are actually benefited from from the e-commerce sales, we have seen how our own O2O model benefited us during these kind of times. So we think that the same thing can be applied to other retailers and other industry players as well. So especially for those who do not leverage on e-commerce before this, you can actually use a similar method that what we do, or leverage on our resources of logistic and cross-border delivery, and resume your business online, you know. And moving forward, even though after MCO, retail recovery might take some time, it's not going to be an immediate recover. People are still having a little bit of here and there when it goes to meet in the shopping mall. So you need a booster. So what you can do is that you can leverage on our resources to boost your sales online and create a presence online. And over here, we are not just saying about e-commerce, we are also leverage on our social media to promote our products, like using TikTok, using Facebook Live, using IG. You know, those are the channels that we shout to others about our products. So I think everyone should try it out and should really optimize your manpower on this direction. Yeah.
Right, that's a good move because, but again, just want to hear a little bit about some insights. You said there was a surge, an increase in demand and sales by up to 300%. How much of that is attributed just to a few products such as face masks, PPEs, and probably other essentials that are related to COVID-19, such as sanitizers? Because I foresee this demand would just be temporary.
I would say half of the sales is actually coming from those things. Another half is actually normal goods that we have been selling.
Right.
For
so there is
while.
still an increase.
So things are still pretty much move on. People still need a speaker for music. You know, yesterday we do a live streaming about speakers, and we have quite good sales yesterday. I think people are still living on. Life goes on. You know. So you still need things to help you to entertain yourself. You know. Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing I can see for something that is really happening is anything to do with entertainment works very well besides of the medical, things. Yeah.
Okay, good. We are talking about, let's move on to cross-border e-commerce, because you were talking about traditional retailers, brand owners, merchants, and vendors. This CMO has really made many traditional businesses rethink their models and their strategies moving forward. And it's a question of just do or die. They have got to, they can't ignore, the fact that they need to go online. Right.
Exactly.
What about cross-border e-commerce?
Cross-border e-commerce is definitely something that I think all brand owners should try it out, because exposing new market that's booming, that's a huge population compared to our place. You might get more exposure and more market.
Right, but right now we know that this COVID-19 is not just affecting Malaysia; it's affecting the whole world right now. We can see recovery in China. When do you see? I mean, it's still challenging to do cross-border e-commerce. You were just sharing about logistics issue in crossing borders as well. When do you see this thing being lifted, and what opportunities are there? Because from what we can see right now, it's still doom and gloom when it comes to cross-border e-commerce with borders shutting.
But if you look at how China recover from these, we have seen Chinese in China start to come back to work, and traffics are back to quite normal. We have seen a lot of right now a lot of courses, a lot of trainings sharing out about how to do business in China, because the demand is actually returned, and especially household goods, FMCG. People are buying things now in China, unlike the rest of the world. Of course, right now COVID-19 is happening in globally. what we can do now is leverage on China market. They have gone through this, so they have successfully recovered from what they have been through with COVID-19. Right now is the best time for you to enter into China market, for you to expand your brand, expose your brand over there, expand your business over there. You don't have to be there. During COVID-19, you are restricted from moving on. You have to fully leverage on the cross-border facilities, like what we can provide to you, doing custom clearance, doing express clearance, doing courier. But what you need to do is go onboarding through the China e-commerce platform and leverage on their social media to shout about products. And the best part about this is that nowadays technology is so advanced. You be anywhere you are, you can actually share your product to people wirelessly or via the internet. You know, so I think as a brand owner, or nowadays a lot of entrepreneurs, you might want to share your story, share your inspiration or aspiration about our products via the internet to the other part of the world.
Sounds good, but can you give us an idea of how big this China market is and how real it is for Malaysian businesses to reach out and have a share of the pie over there?
Yeah, if you can see, over the last 2 years, we have been doing this business of cross-border shipping things into China and out. So China consumption is huge. We are talking about 1.4 billion kind of populations there, and just a small stack of it to consume a product will make your production fully occupied. You know, one of the product that we have tested and have a really good testimonial and proven track record is a product like latex products.
Latex, I thought you were going to mention durians.
Yeah, durian is definitely happening. Durian products is something really hot demand at the moment. But what you need to be careful about durian is the logistic, especially if you are doing the cold chain part. Yeah, but right now, even the durian pastry or byproduct are really doing really good, because people start to craft for this kind of new taste that's never happened before in China. You know, yeah. And you can see durian economy can easily hit I think 10 to 100 billions kind of sales in China moving on.
Well, that's
it's still pretty early. Yeah, we are talking about 1% of China people know about durian. We're not talking about the whole China knowing it. So and we're already achieving like over billion sales. So if you're doing durian, you definitely have to consider that.
Right. So you mentioned durian, you mentioned latex. These are all very unique items that originates from this part of the world, especially in Malaysia. Are there any items that are popular? And do you see the demand, the trend still increasing? Because so far we have only touched like 1% of the Chinese population. Do you see it, even if it increases to 2%, that's also a doubling of demand already?
Yeah, exactly. So I think the a few things that is quite popular in China that is actually imported from Malaysia is like the white coffee products, FMCG. I'm saying products like white coffee, products like coconut products, durian products, and we have seen some what you call that, like normal, even Milo people are buying because they never try a chocolate drink from outside of their world. You know, their chocolate might taste differently compared to ours. So
right.
So nothing stops us from selling our taste. You know, yeah.
So Malaysia is unique. There is a lot of potential. And what have you done so far in order to enable cross-border e-commerce? I know we've got a partnership that's coming up. Perhaps you can share about it.
Yeah, sure. Basically over here, we are partnering with JD.com. So to have a JD worldwide platform for you to list your product from Malaysia directly to China. And you don't have to be cross-border. You can leverage on our cross-border facilities. That means you consign your stock to us. We have to do A to Z. We have to do listing. We have to do promotion, content, design, and then we help you to even do the shipping, warehousing. That means if there's any order from JD Worldwide, we will do the pick and pack and delivery over. And then we get it settled to payment settled to you in Malaysia ringgit. So you have literally risk-free. So those are the things that we can actually like how we can help you to boost your sales, to gain your exposure in China.
What about taxes and other regulatory requirements when you export over to China through this cross-border mode?
Okay, it's actually quite simple when we come to e-commerce. E-commerce, we have express logistic. That means you don't have to do too much about custom clearance or certification in terms of product initially. But as your business grow, if you think that it's time for you to penetrate into China officially by yourself, by your entity, then that's the right time for you to apply for local certification, local testing, and probably local trademark as well. So those will be like later phase. Or we can even go further extents to help you to look for offline distribution channel, like you know, in JD we have a JD retail outlet. You can actually consider to place your products through the outlets as well. Yeah, so those are the later phase. But from the beginning, what you need to do, you need to focus on branding, focus on content, focus on content marketing. Those are things that you need to prepare before you can actually gain the traction from China.
Okay, just from the perspective of a brand owner or a vendor manufacturer in Malaysia, how much do I need to invest in this venture? Because we know exports going cross-border is always traditionally being an expensive, capital-intensive venture. So how much is required, and what are the returns that I'm getting? And perhaps number three, you can explain what kind of risk profile, you know, the kind of journey that I have to go through.
Yeah. So yeah, if you are going through the normal, I'm saying normal business cross-border trade, of course you expect millions of investments for you to have presence over there, for you to have your goods grounded. But over here, through e-commerce, these things become very, very light. It's a very low entry barrier. What we're talking about is less than 10,000 ringgit, probably you get everything done to have your product there in China selling. And the only thing that you really have to be putting more effort is that you might have to consign certain stocks over there for sampling. You know, those are the most of your costs, because as a standard business, if you imagine if you bring your salted fish skin to a new town, people want to try out before they can get accepted. So your cost will be testing the durian. Those are the major costs. Through e-commerce, that's the best part of it. You use a very, very low entry, leverage on facilities of others to get maximum exposure and you know and even help you to do the cross-border. So basically, you are still sitting in the same place that you are, with like one extra hand and one extra leg for you to reach another side of the world. Yeah,
that's interesting. So when you're saying 10,000, it includes opening the shop, listing my products and the brand. Does it include marketing, promotion?
Yeah, we are like your supermarket. We are like your consortium supermarket, hypermall in China. So you just need to park your product under our supermarket, and we will help to sell. So we'll shout out to the world that we are the Malaysian supermarket. Yeah.
Okay, for that 10,000 plus some sampling, how long do I need to wait before I see some returns?
Usually it works like this. For the first 6 months is where we actually try out the acceptance of the market. So the first 6 months, basically what you gain is the insights of the market, whether they like or they don't like your product. And then in the next 6 months is where you see the traction and you can start to project your sales. So, and also those are times that when you can start to analyze whether you want to continue with this product or you want to switch to another product, another SKU to try it out. every place, every locality has a different demand of taste. They might want more saltier. They might don't like too sweet products. So those are things that you can actually try it out. But it's at a very, very minimal cost. So we are talking about over the 6 months you are here in Malaysia and you have people in China help you to test out and tell you what is being consumed in China, what is popular in China, what is not their favorite.
Right. So during the 6 months, there's a lot of experiments and things like that, right? And how does JD help us determine whether people from this county or from this province prefer something that's more salty? How do we determine their preferences? What kind of technology or methods do you use to provide feedback?
Okay. Yeah. So of course in JD platform we have AI technology to give you analytics of the goods that being sold to which area, which demographic. Is it more female like your product, or is it more male like your product? Is it more southern China consume the most, or is it more northern China consume the most? You get all this data for you to do further analytics. So we will provide you the data every month. So basically you will know from there what kind of people actually even click or just explore your products. So those data will be very, very helpful for you to understand better about the population over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say if I'm a brand owner and a merchant, potential merchant, I'm keen. What kind of other sort of assistance, grants, funds, or help that I can get, from the government or other agencies that's available?
I'm pretty sure Malaysia now are very well encouraging the e-commerce. You probably can explore Matrix grant for you to explore to export from Malaysia to other countries. There's a market development grant over there for you to explore. And of course, we have seen a lot of agency organizing trade missions for you to participate. You can actually participate in a trade mission to have a better insights or understanding of the local business, local environment before you actually participate into the program. Yeah. So I think Malaysia has wide varieties of supports in terms of cross-border into China. So Dr. Bruce, maybe you have some you want to share. I believe you have a lot of
right. Okay, now you are talking about trade shows and all that. Now is far from the time of, from doing trade shows and things like that. When do you see this MCO coming to an end and business try to resume, and probably there's a pickup in terms of business activities?
Looking at Malaysia, we are looking at, I think we need another 3 months probably to recover from to the norm before we can actually propel and go further to cross-border. But for China, we have seen the traction of recovery quickly. China likely to have recovered by before June. So and upcoming, you see JD has a 618 big promotion event. So those are the target timeline that we can actually look at if you really want to sell products cross-border into China. It's a big opportunity. If you get ready by now, by the time you should have everything there. Yeah. So during MCO, get prepared, and then when you are out of MCO, you have market ready for you.
Yeah, we just ride the wave. So what do I do now? How do I sign up? How do I get additional information?
So that one, you have to wait for us to do announcement through our Facebook later on, and through our social media. We'll do the announcement about how to get onboarding with us, and then later on you can start through the online web link. Yeah.
All right. So do you have any advice for business owners, brand owners out there?
Be positive. Yeah. First thing, be positive. we have seen pieces going to be, I know it's going to be tough for traditional one, but you have to learn about the new method of doing it. Let's learn together and hold our hand together to move on. Yeah.
Right. Very, very good advice. That was from Mr. Kent Lee, CEO and founder of Smart City and co-founder of JDxPresto Concept Store. Ken, just to like to thank you for spending time this morning and sharing with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a productive weekend.